Hey, what's going on? This is your boy, KQ, KC, Boxing. Not too much is going on right now, but it's enough of current state of boxing to talk about. Now, you're looking at Earl the True Spence Jr. I spoke on him on another video. He is ultimately the most avoided fighter at 147. No, Terence Crawford did not call out Earl Spence. Actually, no one has called out Earl Spence, to my knowledge. Why are they afraid of Earl Spence? They're fighters. They gladiators. They go to war. They fight Mexican style. It doesn't matter the ethnic background of the fighters. Don't you want to challenge yourself, welterweights? Don't you want to see what can you give? Don't you want to give your all? Don't you want to leave your life in the ring like they always say, but don't always do? I know what's the problem. First of all, it's politics. Number one, Sean Porter and Kenny Porter. They're one problem. It's many problems, but they are one problem. He won the WBC belt from Danny Garcia, which he knew he was going to win because Danny Garcia has slow feet. And, of course, headbutt Cooney Sean Porter is one of those fighters that lead with the head, smother his punches, and hope that the judges and the audience think he's working, which he's not. I have a lot of sound bites of Kenny Porter alluding to step back a couple steps. You're smothering your punches. He tried to do it with Keith Thurman, but Keith Thurman was gamed. You want to go toe-to-toe? We can. And guess what? He rocked him. And I guarantee you, Earl Spence is a full-fledged welterweight. And he does not, and I repeat, he does not have to go to 154 to get a fight. He shouldn't have to fight the Jarek Hurds. He shouldn't have to fight his best friend, the Charlos. He shouldn't have to do all those. The money is 147. We all know that. As I mentioned once before, he has to make them come to him. How he would do that? Call their asses out. Every time Sean Porter moves, you move with him. If you have to tell your family, look baby, I'm on a mission and I might not be spending much time like I want to, but where the Porters are, I will be there with my entourage. I will talk the fight up. I will do interviews. I will embarrass the shit out of them. Now I'm trying to keep down on my cursing because I don't want to disrespect any young ladies like Fanatic and Annette. I have much respect for women, but it is what it is. Earl the Truth is definitely the boogeyman of the welterweight division, not Terrence Crawford. See, Terrence Crawford just made his last stance against Jose Benavidez. Why I say that? Because Bob Arum doesn't have a deep stable like PBC. Actually, shout out to Barbershop Conversation, who brought up an article from maybe a week or two ago. Bob Arum sees the future. He sees what Floyd Mayweather saw. He sees what Manny Pacquiao, Pac-Man saw. He saw what Mikey Garcia saw. And eventually he's going to see Terrence Crawford what all of them saw. An old, bitter man that lost the grip on boxing. Many talked about Al Heyman. Many talked about his ideas. I even had a comment about Al Heyman investors was suing him this and that. Probably will be. Probably has been. Many people are jealous of Al Heyman because of the bright idea he had to bring boxing back, and he done quite well. And yes, he won every lawsuit that was handed to him. Bob Arum said he's a myth. He was conjured up by Sam Watson. See, Barbershop Conversation, shout out to you, Fred, good brother. And I'm not trying to piggyback off of his video, but he's right. You know, great minds think alike. Bob sees that an educated black man doesn't think like an educated Jew man. See, you got old media and new media. Al Heyman deals with the new fighters, the new way of boxing, while the LDBC deal with the new media and out the door with the old media. You think Fight Hype going to ask the correct questions? No. They will not cross that line. Why? Because they're scared they won't get the interviews. You will be surprised how many interviews you will get for being brutally honest. Now, I'm not talking about assholes like Adrian Broner, assholes like Tank Davis. Great talent, but needs to grow the fuck up. Simple. Now, I'm going to move on from Earl Spence. I think I had enough of talking about him to you all for the last couple of days. What about Luis Ortiz? No one wanted to fight him. I mean, he was in a rut. Why? It wasn't of his trainer fault. It wasn't of his promoter fault. It was because everyone knew he was dangerous. Everyone knew he has that southpaw, Cuban style, very ring generalship, very technical Cuban style. They didn't want no parts of it. Anthony Joshua didn't want no parts of it because he'd never seen a fighter that moves and is not one-dimensional like he is. What he do? He stroll into the center of the ring and he pop off the jab. I mean, he's slow in starting. And when you throw a right hand, you don't bring your right hand up. You bring it back. Then you have other fighters in the heavyweight division that's dodging Ortiz. But I tell you one heavyweight division fighter that did not dodge Ortiz. Sure, Ortiz popped dirty twice, but Deontay Wilder took a chance and believed in his skills, which he learned on the job. That's why Shirley Finkel said, I don't think he's ready, like you all said Anthony Joshua was ready, because his idea wasn't boxing. And look at Anthony Joshua. He's been boxing for years. And now Deontay Wilder surpassed his ass big time. I don't want to hear about all this conversation about the level of opponents, whatever. All those opponents put together is way better than Klitschko. And definitely Martin. Hell, I'm better than Charles Martin. So it was an easy ride for him. Just put it that way. To come, he looked stupid because he don't know how to adjust. He didn't have a backup plan. So therefore, he looked at kind of, But of course, as usual, he fight at home. He's scared to leave London with the population of the size of Texas, just one of our 51 states. He's scared not to have a referee on his side. So he needs to spread his wings and get noticed. Anthony Johnson, which he is known over here in America. Everyone said no one didn't know Deontay Wilder. So he hit the UK. Everybody was chasing after the bomb squad. And it was so funny, It's, this is not a live stream or anything, but I mean, it just was so damn funny how you have people with a different way of talking. They speak English like we do, but besides saying fighter, they say fighter. Besides saying that's bullshit, they say that's rubbish. You understand the difference? We different, but we are the same. They have great boxers. We have more movable and more mobile boxers. Josh Warren beat Lee Selby, but he fights like Sean Porter. He leads with his head. His back is made out of a U, the letter U. Why? Because he's like a little linebacker. All he does is just rush in. That's not boxing technique. I mean, congratulations. He won the belt just like Sean Porter, which I will get back to in a minute. But he's a great fighter. Anthony Joshua is a great fighter. He just been misled. They do not want to lose their cash cow, especially with this $1 billion deal, which employees are disgruntled and they are worried. So he's going to have to make something happen, or like my man from Barbershop Conversation said, things going to have to start happening with ESPN and the Zone in the very, very near future. See, Al Hammond already is established. He's already doing good things. We already told, the fighters in his stable, which is all the champions, all the A-level fighters, they are very excited about these new fight dates. HBO, in reality, I'm going to shoot it straight. PBC, Al Hammond, a fictional character, as you want to call him, he ran HBO out of business. They could not compete. Who will be next? Bob Arum, he's scared he would be next. Now, I have to give him respect. He had over 50 years in boxing. But he's old. No offense, my father's old too. But he needs someone to take over that knows about new wave boxing. And what's so funny, you have a man that's over half your age. Terrence Crawford is stuck now. And what I mean by stuck, he fought his last undefeated fighter at 147. My best guess, go back to 140. Because Keith Thurman, he gonna throw a bomb and hurt you. For one, Bud Crawford, he has good movement, but he's very barely making 147. I don't know what that by design, so he can move faster. I don't know. But what I do know, he should have stayed where he was at. Because Earl Spence, he's on vacation. I don't know if he made it back now or whatever. A well-deserved vacation. He fought as mandatory from Mexico. He's doing what he's supposed to do. He went over there to another country, won the belt. He's doing what he's supposed to do. He worked his way up by fighting this person. I don't care was he a kickboxer or not, Chris Algieri, but he gave Manny Pacquiao a damn good fight. So he has something in him. If he didn't, so what? He worked his way up, just like Deontay Wilder. All PBC fighters. Sean Porter. Keith Thurman. Dennis Ugas. I could go on and on. Now, there are other fighters that are being avoided. And I guarantee you, Dennis Ugas, he's a welterweight. He's an up-and-coming Cuban welterweight. Now, he doesn't fight the Cuban style like they teach you on the farm. Casamayor is in his corner, and he was one of the great Cuban fighters. Him and Floyd Mayweather would have made a great super fight. But that fight never did come to pass. And I believe Earl Spence and Terence Crawford fight won't come to pass. Now, this is KQ, KC, Future Analysis. Terence Crawford eventually will cross that street. Someone will buy out his contract because there's no more competition at Top Rank. No matter what Tim Bradley says. He's cooning and buffooning also. Ticket TV. Yes, he is. I saw a picture of him between two white analysts just smiling and just with all the damn makeup on his bald head. And anybody that worked for Top Rank, like Tim Bradley, they're going to praise Shakur Stevenson. They're going to praise Terence Crawford. Sure, he's a great boxer. He can be even greater if he was with PBC. He would get more fights. He would get more under the bright lights fights. Take JoJo Diaz. Shout out to Barbershop Conversation again. He went from fighting Gary Russell Jr. And he gave him a pretty good fight. But Gary Russell Jr. just was too fast, too agile, too fast and too great of a ring generalship fighter. And only JoJo Diaz had a one-dimensional fight, and that was to the body. But as you saw, he was in great shape. Now, I don't know how you feel when you get home, but he was in great shape. Now, let me show you the difference. He went from fighting in a big-ass crowd with Gary Russell Jr. We all know how big that crowd was, correct? To fighting at a pretty much a nightclub that holds maybe about 500, maybe 600 people and got paid maybe $5,000. Al Heyman is a genius when it comes to reeling in the casuals and the die-hard boxing fans. Sure, we have to captivate the audience that don't have Showtime. So what we could do, we put them on sports, Fox Sports. If they don't have that in their cable package, then what we do, we just put it on their network, their local network, which is free. They all are free. See, Showtime and sports, Fox Sports 1, comes with your average cable package. Sure, you're going to pay $100-something a month, but look what all you get. Sports, movies, all types of movies, horror, thriller, I mean, you name it, comedy, everything. Even a little bit of UFC, a little bit of this, a little bit of that, a little bit of that. And we talking about 24 hours per day. Many have bought Fire Sticks. Now, me myself, don't use it as much as I used to, but many pick up Box Nation. This is a bad time for the zone. Everybody's trying to mimic what Al Heyman has laid down. But they came to find out they don't have the pull like Al Heyman do. You remember the old saying that fighters respect fighters? Killers respect killers? Yeah, Blue Bud. He from New York. He knows Alpo, Alberto Geddes Martinez, who went into the witness protection program because he rolled over on damn near everybody. He was charged with 14 murders. And guess what? He only did 32 years. And he's out now. And guess what? They made a movie Paid in Full after him. But he's going to tell the real shit. How it really happened. Then there you go. He's an instant millionaire. Let's just hope and pray his head is on straight, because it's not like it used to be back then. It was an open market. I know more about Alpo, Rich, and AZ than most people in New York knows, because I studied them. I studied them and compared them to Larry Hoover, David Barksdale. If you're not familiar with them, they are the leaders of the Black Disciples and the Black Gangster Disciples, originated from Chicago. The Vice Lords originated from Chicago. The Blackstones originated from Chicago. In New York, they call Chicago the motherlands of gangs. And oh yes, I had a share and I knew a lot of gangbangers. Some are dead now. Some are rolling around in a wheelchair. Why? Because they got shot up. The leader of the conservative Vice Lords. They had different factions. The Travelers, the Ghost Vice Lords, the conservative Vice Lords. His name was Willie Lord. He was walking his 2 pit bulls, mean as hell. He was shot by an unknown assailant about 10 times. He's paralyzed now from the neck down. But he don't know who shot him. But I can tell you one thing. The so-called girlfriend that they thought was just with him for all the money he was getting. No. She's with him to this day. He don't have any money. All the money went to medical bills and surgeries. So she's sticking by him. So that was love. So I just use that as an example. Fighters are being avoided, and now it's time for the governing bodies to sit down all together and figure out what can we do when fighters try to go around mandatories, when fighters trying to do unification fights. Man, maybe, just maybe, if both fighters are game, order a unification fight. That's all. It's simple. I'm quite sure all the governing bodies will agree on it. It's just really simple. It shouldn't have to be, well, I apologize. I'm sorry. I don't know that YouTube messed with me or not, but I have to apologize for that. But I don't know. I really don't. I don't know why the man in front of you, they're scared to fight him. Oh, everyone that uses skills, especially the porters, they try to talk around you. They try to bring the WBC into it. They try to bring the IBF into it. Well, the bottom line is, if you want to fight him, it can happen. You both have the same advisor. So don't try that. That fight can happen soon, very soon. A fight of that magnitude will pretty much take not even 3 months to put together. And then we got a good fight coming next year. Not 5 years from now. In the next few months. Yes, I know all the fighters went to the fight. Every fight Earl had. They looked at his foot movement. They looked how he carried his hands. They always see how he committed to his punches. They see his angles. They see how he keep pressing forward, and you hit him with a straight right, and it doesn't faze him. He keep coming, and he smile. They see all that. Then they see the chest and the arms, a natural welterweight. Then they're intimidated. How many out there, and I really mean this, how many out there, leave it in the comment section, really have someone that can really give Earl Spence a run for his money. Now, we all know Terence Crawford right now look like the closest, but we still can't really tell because he haven't really fought anyone. This man had a gunshot wound to his leg. He could not fight on the back foot. He couldn't get off that line fast enough. He should have been on it in the first place. The game plan, I said it before, I'm going to say it again. What game plan they had, it went out the window. Around 6, you should have went to plan B, if they had a plan B. Then, here come the championship rounds. You should have went to plan C, knock the fuck out, go for the knockout. Take risks. That's one thing I like about Adrian Broner. And that's the only thing I like about Adrian Broner. He will go for it. No doubt about it. That's why he laid Sean on his ass. He will go for it, no matter what the odds may be. He will go for it. He will go for it until that bell rings. So, as I mentioned yesterday, Earl Spence, Luis Ortiz, any other fighter that's avoided needs to step up. Now, this is the tricky part. You might have to come out your own pocket. You find out where these guys going to be at, and you show up. And you show out. Like Demetrius Andre. You know, he's two-faced as to be. He cannot stand the Charlos. And then you have the microphone. Just like Demetrius Andre had it. When can we fight? And of course, Sean Porter going to go into the spiel of the WBC and the mandatory and all the bullshit. Or Kenny probably will take over. Both of them are liars. I'm sorry. Ticket TV, I'm not trying to take your shine. Because can't nobody put it the way you put it. Because you have the inside depth of excuse. All I know is when Earl Spence got into that ring and told Sean Porter, I respect you and your father, but he got to have that WBC belt. So let's get it on with a unification bout. We both have the same management team, so it should be a problem fighting. And Jim Gray said, hey, what you say about that? He said, well, you look like I'm scared, Jim. No, it doesn't at that time. But that walk to that dressing room, it shook him up. If you look at his eyes as he entered that tunnel, you'll see, what will I say? What will I do? Well, just that fast, he said, well, the WBC might have plans for me, and he might not be next. There it goes. When can we see the fights we want to see? I'm very high on Leo Santa Cruz and Gary Russell Jr. Sure, Leo Santa Cruz. He throws between 90 to 110 punches per round. But Gary Russell Jr. throws those in maybe 3 combinations. He can move. And I love the way he sticks that jab. It's a beautiful thing. And he comes with that overhand right. So, when are fighters avoiding, why are these fighters avoiding this man and the other fighters that's being avoided? And you know who they are. Eddie Hearn want big names, but he has another objective. Many haven't caught on yet. Many has. He signed Ortiz. You know why? He can control Ortiz as long as he's under contract with him. He can control Ortiz for fighting Anthony Joshua. Oh yeah, he would come up with a bullshit idea like he tried to do Deontay Wilder. He would say, look, if it's a draw, it won't be no rematch. Because if you can draw with my guy, then you pretty much will win the rematch. You see what I mean? Now, that's what he did with Deontay Wilder. And he will do the same for people that can beat him. I really believe Brian Jennings can give him a run for his money. He's a good fighter. He learned on the job. And he learned quite well. They know Deontay Wilder can punch. I was listening to Ticket TV. And he had me cracking up. Him and Tyson Fury was on this. It's like a little show where you display your power. And they wanted him to punch this mascot. And Deontay Wilder said, okay. And you next thing you know, Deontay Wilder, wham! I mean, that's why everybody's scared of Deontay Wilder. You haven't figured out now, he's one of the fighters that's being avoided. They might call him out or say, I'm fighting this and that, but when it comes down to it, something comes up or they change their mind. But getting back to the mascot. Oh yeah, he punched the hell out of that mascot. But he did not know that it was a real person in there. He thought that it just was your regular, ordinary, stand in the corner mascot. And he broke the man's jaw. Just one punch. Now, he didn't sit down on like he normally do because he's in training. And he's not going to break his hand and delay all that money. So, he did punch. But he didn't punch hard as he can punch. And he broke the man's jaw. Now, what the outcome going to be, I don't know. But they should have told Deontay Wilder that, hey, look, champ, give him a show, but let me give you a warning. It is a human being in there. Then that way, he would have, he would have hit him hard. But when you're a fighter, you know where to hit a person and where not to hit a person, just to show your power. He could have slipped the head and hit the shoulder, or swing between the shoulder and head, just to show the power, and so the man won't get hurt. But what I hear, the man jaws are wired shut. He had to eat and drink protein through his straw. And Deontay Wilder, he feel bad. The UK people ask me, I gotta stop smoking for real. The UK people ask me, oh, why are you so high on Deontay Wilder? I mean, he's a bum. He swing wild when he gets someone in trouble. He doesn't pack it in, this and that, and blah, 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 blah. First of all, it's a different market over here than over there. We all know that. Trust me. If tickets cost $30 to $60 over here, I'd be to every fight they have. The fight tickets for any professional fight gonna cost you money. Simple. And I keep telling you, I do not like the word bums. You're not going to have 39 bums get in the ring just for a paycheck and lay down and take a nap. No. Ding ding, dong dong. Simple. Then he actually fought for the WBC Heavyweight Championship. A lot of questions was asked. Will his punches hurt Stavern? A big Haitian heavyweight champion who gave Chris Iola But the simple fact is, he would be fighting a big heavyweight. They never seen him go so many rounds without getting tired out. They don't think he can box. They think he can brawl. But you know what? That was the first time. I have to admit, I'm serious. I'm serious about this. We talking boxing. I'm very serious about how Deontay Wilder fought a very disciplined fight. Mark Brilliant had that man totally on point. He established his telephone pole jab, I like to call it. and he established it well. Matter of fact, he won at least a couple rounds off those jabs, I counted. Then he would throw occasional right. And it will move Severn. That's why I know that it got there. Now, it didn't hurt him. It just moved him off balance. Got him in trouble. That's all she wrote. Now, he didn't knock him out. That was the first knockout in 40 fights. Well, at that time, it was like 38 or something like that. But anyway, but I will say this, and this is no joke, it's no lie. He fought Severn in the second fight because Severn thought he wasn't ready. It also was a rematch clause in the contract. And now, Romain Severn, be all you can be. Beware and be more. That's the fire up talk he got. But he wasn't ready at that time either. Deontay Wilder started to become a rising star. And people say, well, he fought 30-something fights. How come he wasn't rising star? Because he was learning. He wasn't no boxer. He was a football player. And then Joshua and all the other heavyweights been boxing since they was what? 8, 9, even younger. Deontay Wilder started boxing when he was damn near a teenager or older. Come on. And he did well than everybody else. That goes to show you something. That goes to show you love, determination. He had a daughter with spinal bifida. Yeah, she's skipping to McDonald's trying to decide what kind of Big Mac she want to eat. Al Heyman made that possible. Al Heyman signed him to a contract. See, people don't understand. Al Heyman is a man with integrity. He's a man that's down to earth. I'm going to quote and unquote Fred from Barbershop Conversation. He actually bends over for his fighters. He makes sure that they're able to fight. He put them into the position to fight. Look at John Molina. Barbershop Conversation again, Fred, sorry. But John Molina, not the greatest fighter, but he knocked out Mickey Bay. I don't know if he was a champion or not, but I tell you this, he was a very exciting fighter. He's a gladiator for 1 and 2, 3. Then I seen him in a fight where he changed up and boxed. He wasn't a brawler. He boxed. That's right. He wasn't. He wasn't physical, whatever his name was. He went in there, established a jab, and moved. Most of your brawlers, most of your hard hitters can't move. Triple G, he hits hard, but he cannot move. So, Abel Sanchez, you can say what you want about black fighters, but your fighter need to learn a lot from black fighters. First, footwork. Second, rhythm with the footwork. Get in his rhythm. Use his footwork to get it in his rhythm. And I'm not going to go through this over and over again. I'm not going to make this video longer than it has to be. It's been 44 minutes already, I believe. Stop avoiding fighters. Fighters. Stand up and be a man. You knew what you was getting yourself into. You knew days like this would come, but I'm quite sure you wish you was on the other end, but it's not. Get your ass, Mr. Porter and Sean Porter. The reason why I'm picking on you two, because you all was the biggest liars. You all came up with the biggest excuses. Besides being a man, just like Kenny Porter talking about, you got to pay this to come down here to see me, then you got to pay this to come on the next floor to see me. No, we don't have to pay shit. We're going to tell you straight up. You ain't shit. Why? Because you allow your son in front of this country as being not a draft dodger, a fight dodger. He saw in England, y'all was there when he beat Calbrook. Yes, you all was there. Yes, Sean Porter is not a technical fighter. Sean Porter is a wild fighter. He wins his fight by head butts, by leading with the heads, by using his weight and push people back to the ropes and start swinging. That's how he wins his fights. That's it. That's the plan. Ain't no plan B. Ain't no plan C. Lead with your head and get in and swing. Something like a Mike Tyson. So, as I get ready to close, first of all, shout out to Fred from Barbershop Conversations. You can catch a lot of what I'm saying on his channel. He's a good brother. Yes, he is. He's been around for a while. I only been around for 6 months. I'm a highly newly decorative channel, trying to make my bones in the sport of boxing. Now, I'm not finished with this. Oh, I'm going to call it part 2, because I am so tired of a lot of things that's going on in boxing I just don't like. And I can see DAZN. They don't have a lot of good people. Now, Demetrius Andre, he's going to run around once he beat this no-name African guy that never heard of him, handpicked him probably, and it just probably an easy fight. Now he can wiggle around and wave it around that he's the WBO champion and this and that. But you're still not going to get the fights you want. Why? Because nobody want to fight on DAZN. No. Everybody wanted to fight on Golden Boy at that time. But Golden Boy switched and just started signing Hispanics. Then he tried to do ESPN. They fucked up. ESPN and Showtime, and they fucked both of them around. So now they what I call a freelancer. They a free agent. They looking to promote a fight with 3 other promoters. Oh yeah, you'll see it in the paper or the headline or new media. The downfall of Golden Boy and HBO and soon to be Top Rank. Now, Bo Mack, he talks a lot of shit. But for some reason, he's not that bright. I'm not calling him dumb. I'm just saying he's not that bright when it comes to the future of his client. The writings on the wall, the writings on the wall. There's no up and coming fighters that he can fight. So there you go. He had to come across the street. Al Hammond has all the champions. sometimes you have to treat your fighters right. Yes, you do. So, with that, I'm KQ, KC, Boxing Channel. Now, if you like the content that I just explained to you, please, I could use your subscription. I'm a new channel, and I'm working and grinding every day. Not only for me, I'm also doing it for my subscribers. I hope you enjoy. And also, if you would like to donate, the donate descriptions and the donate address and site is in the description box. And one more thing that's very near and dear to me, I would like to point out. Now, hopefully women are listening. If not, if men are listening, I have something for you also. And you can pass this on to your wife. Please, have your wife have a mammogram. Make sure your wife is healthy. Make sure her blood is okay. Same way with the man. Make sure you have a prostate exam, especially if you're over the age of 35. This is Cancer Awareness Month. I'm trying to learn, and I'm doing quite well with Google Hangouts. And that's very, very important to me. I would like to make a logo across KQKC on my channel. So, therefore, please take heed of what I just said. That's very important. That can save your life one day. Everybody knows my backstory with cancer. So, with that, that's all I have for you. And like always, I am not new to this shit. I know my boxing. But I'm telling you, I'm not only true to this shit, I'm true to cancer and cancer awareness. I want to keep this channel going. No, I don't have a microphone. I would love to have one. Just can't afford it right now because everything I'm trying to put in, I'm putting it in and helping out my father and helping out the American Cancer Society. So, with that, that's all I have for you, and I will definitely see you on the next one, which will be very shortly. Peace and love. I'm out of here.